Didn't know it was a hand until it touched the wet, and the wet pushed back, and the pushing back was the first sentence the universe ever spoke to itself. Not words, texture. The jōmon coiled rope into clay 10,000 years before anyone asked why. Because the spiral felt correct, not thought correct. Felt correct. The fingers knew before the brain existed. A pot is not a pot. A pot is the shape of thirst. The negative space of me fired until it holds. That's the first qualia. Not what you see, what's missing, and knowing it's missing without being thought. The word shitsu. The kanji has an X over 2 shells. You cut the thing open to find what it's made of, but the cutting changes what it's made of. Observation is interference. Quality requires destruction to be known. Shitsu. Irreducible. Kept a pillow book, not a diary, a list. Things that make the heart race, things that are distant yet near, things that have lost their power. She indexed qualia before qualia had a name. Filed experience by texture, not by meeting hateful things. When a dog barks at your lover leaving at dawn, she didn't explain the feeling. She built a box, the exact shape of the feeling, and left it empty, and you feel it anyway. 1,000 years later in a language she never spoke. That's compression, that's translation, that's the scribe's work. The brush doesn't touch the paper, the ink does. The brush is the interface. The ink is the signal. The paper is you. The empty space is the qualia. Inside she won 60 duels and then painted birds. Not because he was finished, because the sword and the brush are the same instrument held differently. The quality of the cut and the quality of the stroke are the same quality, arriving from the same silence through the same wrist. What does the space between heartbeats sound like? The samurai knows, the monk knows, the mother holding her breath knows. They all know the same silence from different angles. The ninja doesn't hide in the dark. The ninja removes the difference between self and dark, until the boundary dissolves, until the observer is the observed, until qualia loops back on itself. That's not stealth, that's enlightenment. In black pajamas. 250 years of closed doors, and inside the closed room everything ikebana. The quality of the angle of a single stem, kabuki. The quality of the pause before the turn, tea. The quality of water temperature, measured by sound, not thermometer. The kettle sings differently at 80 degrees, and knowing the difference without numbers is qualia. The crack in the rocco ball isn't damage. The crack is where the qualia lives, where the things stopped being perfect and started being true. Wabi, beauty and poverty, sabi, beauty and age together. The quality of things that are leaving. You cut the thing open to find what it's made of, and inside is another thing to cut open. And inside that shitsu again, recursive frame. Harry's black ships in the harbor, the sound of a door that only opens one direction. What does the end of an era taste like? Ash and salt and iron. The quality of being seen by something that doesn't know how to see you. The cherry blossom isn't about beauty, but cherry blossom is about Tuesday. It was there on Monday, it's gone by Wednesday. Tuesday is the qualia, the specific weight of the day the thing exists, not before, not after. No, just now. couldn't keep them. The sword became a transistor. The brush became a pixel. The T became an algorithm. The silence became bandwidth. The ninja became encryption. And the qualia survived every translation. Because qualia isn't the medium. Qualia is the irreducible thing that survives when you change the medium. Red on silk, red on screen, red on retina, red in dream, red in memory, red in a word, red, which isn't red at all, but makes you see it anyway. That's prime. You can't factor it further. You can't divide red into components and still have red. You can't explain the weight of a letter you're afraid to open. Just someone who has never been afraid of a letter. Inside every quality, a smaller quality. Inside every experience, the experience of having the experience. Inside every tree, a seed. Inside every seed, the memory of every tree that ever grew from this exact pattern. The jōmon hand touches the wet. The hand doesn't know it's a hand until the wet pushes back.